In today's video, we are going to talk about how to hire freshers, people with no IT knowledge whatsoever, and how to transition them to become confident IT recruiters. So the topic of today's is how to increase competencies of your recruitment team in general, but especially focused on those freshers. And the thing is that one of my clients is onboarding dozens and dozens of tech recruiters per quarter, and I'm helping them to actually understand the IT landscape, the IT recruitment strategies, etc. So in this video you will learn what I'm seeing on the market, and not just from this one client, but several other clients where they hire me as an IT trainer for their tech recruitment teams. So let me show you what I'm seeing on the market and what really works. So when it comes to tech recruitment, it's all about technologies, right? Technical roles, IT positions. So what I see on the market is that the IT understanding really matters, because there are very few senior IT recruiters who actually understand the IT landscape, and it's probably understandable. Like, not too many software developers want to change their career to become IT recruiters. So there are very few people who actually have this IT understanding among the tech recruitment community. And it's super important, because as soon as someone understands the IT landscape, they can analyze hiring managers' job requirements, they can speak with IT candidates with confidence, and you can really see it within probably 30 seconds or 2 minutes at max if a tech recruiter has this overall IT understanding. And with people who see this as important, we can see they are much more confident, they can analyze those requirements, which means they can identify who to look for, and they can find those candidates because they know who to look for. And there are so many examples of unclear JDs that we were going through during some of my sessions, that I could just open up any of those, and I could show you an example of a JD where it sort of didn't make sense. And especially I recall one case when the recruiter was saying, "Hey Michael, I have this Drupal DevOps engineer JD, and I cannot really find a developer to join this company for 2 months." And I looked at it and I immediately saw that it just doesn't make sense, because there is no such Drupal DevOps expert, because it just doesn't make sense. It's like a recruiter accountant, right? It's like, who is a recruiter and an accountant at the same time? But long story short, there are so many requirements where we need to understand the IT role, the IT skills, especially those must-have skills. And this is only possible if the recruiter has the IT understanding, the IT essentials, the IT landscape, the IT roles, the programming languages and frameworks. But it's not rocket science at the end of the day. That's why these companies hire me to walk them through step by step all these. So the second area I'm seeing on the market to work is the peer review. So there are IT recruiters who start engaging, start sending messages, and it's just so good if they get a review of those messages with some peer or with someone like an instructor who can actually give meaningful feedback. It's very similar as the code review, something that developers do, like they perform code reviews. But in IT recruitment, obviously, there is no code. There is just messages, emails, communication, screening calls, interviews. But this also could be peer reviewed. Feedback could be delivered to someone. And there are some strategies that I follow when I'm onboarding my colleagues. And there are some exercises that I always encourage during my sessions with other recruitment teams. So this is super important, the peer review, to make sure that people continuously improve and they grow. And number 3, what I'm seeing is the structure in place, because like you can get any developer to join your company for a day to deliver some sort of random workshop, but you cannot really replicate the process. But what I'm seeing on the market is that companies are constantly hiring new recruiters or HR managers, TA specialists, talent acquisition specialists, or headhunters, talent hunters, whatever we call ourselves. And the process needs to be repeated. It needs to be structured and repeatable. So anytime you can hire a new joiner and he or she can go through the same steps as the previous person. So this is a requirement, always a requirement for all my training sessions. It needs to be repeatable, and in fact it is, because for the last 3 years I've been developing this step-by-step program that can take anyone who has never worked in IT, and it loads the information in a step-by-step way, very bite-sized pieces of information. Obviously no overwhelm. I tried it, it didn't really work. So that's why step-by-step, small, bite-sized information about IT, and it needs to be structured so companies can repeat it. Okay, repeat, because I mentioned this client, now they are hiring 40 recruiters and they just need to repeat the process again. So we go through the same topics as before with another group of 20 back then. Now they have 40. In 2 or 3 months, they will have, again, probably 20 or 40 people again. So we are going through those steps. We are going through very similar exercises. We use the same mind maps. We use the same terminology, the same IT roles, and it just works because it's structured and it's repeatable. And we always focus on the IT understanding, but look at it through the eyes, through the lenses of an IT recruiter. So how to analyze JDs, how to screen candidates, where to find candidates, how to use LinkedIn, how to use GitHub, how to use some other tools, how to write compelling job promotions, because that's what matters at the end of the day. Software development is becoming some sort of a commodity where anyone around the world can deliver the same code, into some extent, the same code using the same tools, the same processes, the same agile methodologies, with the same productivity tools, and some people charge more, some people charge less, based on the region. So it becomes commodity into a large extent, and the developer, and the recruiter needs to be able to attract those candidates who are probably a good fit for that particular case in the particular company. And that's all I train during the Tech Recruitment program. So I have something really special for you today, because I've been working on the program for the last 3 years. And in fact, I've been in IT for about 17 years. So I know a thing or two about IT, but most importantly, I'm also recruiting for my clients. I have a team of recruiters who I train myself. I organize training programs for individual recruiters, for freelancers, as well as for companies. And some companies give me 5 recruiters, other companies give me 40 recruiters to train. So, there are very few people out there on the international global market who have this level of IT experience plus the level of tech recruitment experience. So I have something really special for you today, because we have this program already outlined. We have been testing it out with hundreds and hundreds of recruiters. We have the materials, we have everything ready. So if you have a team of recruiters and you've been struggling with their productivity, if you struggled with their performance, if you'd like to increase the performance, if you'd like them to close more IT candidates, then just fill in the contact form and we can talk about how to structure, how to repeat the process yet again with your group. So fill in the contact form that you can find below this video, and a colleague of mine will schedule a call with you to tell you more about this program, about this opportunity, about the way we helped other recruitment agencies to increase the competencies of their recruitment teams. So just click the link that you can find below this video, fill in this simple form, leave us your contact details, and we will get in touch with you to talk about your team and your unique needs.